Welcome to day 68 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of January 2000, which is Fantasia 2000.
It sounds so weird, like hearing 2000
I
now. I'm
know.
so
I
used to
know,
like
right?
1990 something, you
Yeah.
know?
No, I was because I was like typing things in for it, and I was having to write January, and then my hand was like 200. It was like, oh, this is weird. I'm not used to it.
Can you
Oh,
imagine if you were in high school during that time and then you had to like change it for like all your
all your
written tests
dates.
and
Oh
everything?
yeah, because we would have just been like starting school like barely at that time.
I remember how
Yeah.
annoying it was to add a one. Like
Yeah.
instead of like zero something, it was like one something instead.
Oh, from
And I
2009 to
found that so
2010.
annoying.
Yeah.
Oh,
hmm
Yeah. I don't even know how it'll be in 2020.
yeah. It's kind of a well, okay. I guess I should clarify. Apparently, like, I don't know why they did this, but this film was actually not like released into normal theaters until June, but it was released in
Right.
IMAX January 1st.
That's strange.
So
Yeah,
I have no
that's
idea
really strange.
why, but whatever. It's listed under the January part of Wikipedia, so it's good
The
enough.
peasants did not watch it until June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, it's not like because some things are listed like a month earlier than their main release because like a festival or something. But this is like all IMAX around the country, right? It just was
Oh,
IMAX
Mm,
only for some reason. I don't know why.
that's
Whatever.
so weird.
weird.
Yeah, whatever. So just some clarify because someone would probably be like, "But it's June." Well, whatever. So
No,
um,
not.
No.
yeah. It's this is like really hard to talk about to
It's
be.
so
Yeah.
different from everything else. So we were just like, so what do we do?
Yeah.
You
We
know?
can all agree that we liked the film.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Concert or whatever you would classify it as.
Yes.
yeah, and it was interesting because like I've seen the original Fantasia a good number of times. So just to kind of compare, because I had never seen this one before, so just to kind of compare the two, I was kind of surprised didn't expect them to play the Sorcerer's Apprentice thing again, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I think one thing that I do think is an interesting difference, and I think this is probably just because
You watched the original.
they made the original back again in like the 30s, right? Or
Oh,
Something like
right.
that. Yeah,
So-
the 30s or 40s.
something, yeah. So, uh, but for this one, there's a lot of like different styles in how the segments are
Mhm.
It's
made.
true.
Like,
hmm
there was the kind of the line drawing focused one with I'm not gonna remember like any of the song names.
Yeah.
The New York
Okay.
City
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then there's
that's
like the Tin Soldier one was like CG, um, and like the last one, even like the water spirit thing's like face kind of looked like anime-ish or something,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of interesting like the change of that and how that had different styles. Because the first one, again, I don't think it's just probably a product at the time, just because animation
It
was
was
so
probably
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, all hand drawn. Looked
Yeah,
very
so-
similar.
Yeah.
So it did just kind of look like, the same, which is not bad because again, it like they all looked good and they were well made, and
Mhm.
again, it's just early, so there really wasn't enough time to really make like different styles.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of an interesting comparison. Um, the one, I guess, the one kind of criticism is like I don't know. I kind of felt like the interruptions between the segments were just kind of like stupid.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like when they were talking?
Yeah, like I know there was something like that with like the original, but I don't remember it being as I don't know.
persistent.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember there was one thing where like they had what do you call it? You know the things like in like music like player thingies like on the computer where you can have like a visual like line that like moves around
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
They had like
yeah.
that for like one of the things like and but it wasn't like an actual thing. It was kind of, an artistic representation of it or something. So like I remember
Hmm.
that, but again, I know there was some talking. I just don't, maybe it is just as long. I don't know. But
It was
you
a little
take
bit
out-
distracting.
yeah,
If
a
you
little
take
bit.
out the intermissions where they were talking, I think they could have fit in another, like, one more song at the end or something.
Yeah. I do think that even though I think the last one is well made, it didn't quite feel like a finale. I don't know, like especially because I know what the finale is in the original, and it's
Mhm.
more. There's more basically. It definitely feels like a finale where
I
this was
think
kind of.
that if they had cut out the commentary and then they could have definitely ended like the whole thing with like something that was yeah, more climatic and everything.
Because
Mhm.
Tara, you remember the end of the original one, right?
See, how I know Fantasia is that I never watched the actual one, but I watched the show in Disney World.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
MGM's
okay.
show, which also showed the Sorcerer's Apprentice as a big part of it and everything. So when I was watching like the actual animated thing, I was like, "Oh, I remember that with like the actual effects and everything and stuff,
Oh, that's
like how
interesting.
he was doing like all those things and the fireworks and the water and everything." So it was really interesting to like compare it to that instead. But
So
unfortunately,
you're not sure what the ending is? Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll just tell you this: the ending of the original Fantasia is like kind of insane. So, um, yeah, it's very. So again, it's this one. This one was still good. I just don't think it quite got to that aspect of
Level.
it.
It
Yeah,
wasn't, yeah, the same kind of finale as the original one.
yeah. So if I had to pick, I'd say for the original. And also, I just feel like kind of one of the things was that because you notice that they said that like they kind of acted like that this they said how this was going to be a series and
Yeah.
like they were going
Yes.
to keep adding to it, and then they kind of like were alluding as if like this is going to be this 2001 is going to be the start of a series,
Hmm.
and that
Yes.
clearly didn't happen. um
Yeah.
well, so
Yeah.
that is true. But I almost feel like it kind of like loses the magic, so to speak, right? Because it's like part
Mm.
of the reason why I think the first one is so interesting is because there basically wasn't, and besides this movie now isn't anything like it.
Hmm.
Right,
So it's
right,
like if they
right.
Yeah.
kept doing it over and over and over again, it's like you just get kind of bored of it, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe that's just part of it again, where it's like I've kind of, not this exact thing, but I've seen this before in a sense, at least conceptually,
Hmm.
and so
Mm.
much of it is based on the initial concept. So I don't know. I still think it's good, and I think if you are of any interest in it, or you've liked the original or whatever, you should definitely watch it. But
It's definitely worth watching,
yeah,
I would
Yeah.
say.
Seeing
It's
all the different
very
segments.
interesting, especially from like an artistic standpoint too.
yeah,
Yeah, like the way it was composed and how people kind of just went with their stories and how they visually told the story of the music. I thought that was very interesting. Actually, am I the only one who got reminded of Moana from the last one?
No, I also got reminded of
Okay, because I was like, green lady with like reviving plants and then like the volcano spirit, and I
oh
was just
yeah.
like,
yeah.
is this like the original Moana kind of?
Well, speaking of the
No,
last
and there
one,
was so many like references to previous films too.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was Lion King referenced. There was
Yeah.
also the basket from the line drawing that was in featured with the dog and everything. That was the same basket from Aristocats. Sorry.
I always forget about that movie.
And then there were other references that I noticed. Oh, I'm trying to remember them now.
one thing that I noticed, I guess kind of like a real life reference, uh, the last one, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
ending shot of like the volcano or whatever,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
was in like it looked like the exact shape of Mount St. Helens.
Oh, that's why it kind of looked
Yeah.
familiar.
So that was kind of interesting. And
Oh.
again, if you think in terms like the deer and like just the general like landscape, that's actually kind of what the area looks like. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Oh.
Moana and Mount St. Helens.
I'm trying to remember. There were other references. I think there was a reference to.
Was there anything for Pocahontas? I feel like
I don't think
I don't think so.
Pocahontas.
maybe not.
Oh, I
Dang
guess.
it, I'm like, forgetting. Huh?
Oh, I was gonna say the one thing that like actually kind of disappointed me was I forgot which segment it was, but one of the segments someone's talking about like how they had like a bunch of ideas and they didn't know what to do or something.
Oh
And like
yeah.
one of the ideas floated was like something with Salvador Dali, and I'm like, oh damn, like it's something like this with like his art style would have been like so interesting.
Oh yeah,
And I
it'd
was
be
like,
kind of
oh,
bizarre.
I know. I'm like, why didn't you do that? Now you got me
Yeah.
excited for something that won't happen.
I think that was in the introduction,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
well, no, it was in one of.
No, it was somewhere in the middle,
Yeah,
but
it
Somewhere.
was before one of the segments. I don't remember which one.
I can't remember myself either.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else really to say about it?
Which one was your favorite?
Oh,
That's hard.
I like all of them for different reasons.
Yeah, I like all of them for different reasons. I think the ones that stood out to me the most were, oh, but they were all really cute.
I'd say for me, the first three.
Mm.
So that was like the abstract one with like the butterfly things,
The butterflies, the
the
whale, and
whales,
New York City.
and the New York, and then the last one.
Ah,
Probably I'd say those, but I can't really. It's between those. I don't know.
I like the butterflies one, the whale. I also like New York City, but I also like the Tin Soldier one, and then also the last one. I appreciated the flamingos for the hilarity of it, but I think the other one's still-
Comedy break.
Yeah.
It was kind of like weirdly short too. Like that one was like
Yeah,
2 minutes. It was kind of
I was
weird.
expecting it to be a little bit longer since all of
Yeah.
the other ones range between like 5 and maybe 7 minutes, it seemed.
Because
Yeah.
there's one.
Oh, it was the Donald one was sad.
Yeah, I guess in terms of like story, I like the New York one and the Noah's Ark one with Donald and Daisy.
Mm.
It is well, yeah, go back to the flamingo thing. Like, it reminds. There is kind of actually in the original Fantasia, there is kind of a segment that's a bit similar, where it's like animals interacting with each other in like kind of a comedic way, and that one actually is pretty long. So again, I was kind of
Oh.
surprised that like, okay, because I'm like, oh, they're doing like another one of these, but then it like stopped, and I was like, oh, okay. So
Abruptly short.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, for what it is, it's good, like the original. So
Yes.
if you want more of the original, then watch it.
Yeah, I guess if you just don't like concerts or symphonic concerts, then maybe it's not for you, but everyone else, I would say you might enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sora enjoyed it.
I bye for her.
No
Yeah.
treat for you. Well, different kind of treat.
Yes, different kind
An
of
audio-visual treat.
Of sweet dreams.
Yes.
I don't think there's any much else to say, like in
No.
general.
Okay.
It's just like when you come out of it, you just feel really happy and stuff, and it's nice.
Yes. Okay. That's that, I guess.
Yep. Next one will be a surprise.
Yep.
It was
Oh, and
slightly
we'll begin-
alluded to.
We'll
But-
begin Troot Month.
Oh yeah,
Oh
so
my god.
did we explain
No.
that whole thing?
Nope.
Do you want to
Okay.
wait until February to explain it?
No. I think we should probably explain it because I'm pretty sure the next film is going to take up the entirety of that whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Okay, so let's explain Troot Month. So if you guys remember last February with Payback, we started having a conversation about fish, like how to pronounce salmon. Yeah.
Salmon.
So, we probably have your votes in by now, but we're not sure because we can't like see into the future. But so
Speak for yourself.
Oh my God.
so at the end of like that recording, we were talking about fish, and somehow we ended up making up a fake mon called Troot, which starts as fruit, Froot, and then it evolves into Sprout, Sproot, and then the last one is Troot. So I guess maybe every Troot month we will have one of the evolutions and have something fish related.
that there will be a fish-related question or fish-related story somehow put into the review.
I don't know how we're gonna come up with a fish-related story for next one, but
I have a story.
Oh, okay. You gotta.
No, it's just like a personal story about my fish.
Your
Don't
challenge.
spoil it.
Your challenge is to somehow make it relevant to the movie.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. I'll accept
we all
that.
have to do that then.
Mm-hmm.
So oh man, I contributed to the last one without meaning to. So I guess
I'll have to think
who's
of something.
going next?
I guess I'll have to think of something for 2001.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll try to make my fish story relevant. So, yeah.
Why couldn't this have been February? Then it would have been perfect.
I don't know, maybe not. Considering the story I have in mind, so I'm kind of hoping it goes with the next movie.
Oh, okay.
I hope.
Okay.
might not though.
Why did we come up with this in the 90s? It would have spiced things up so much nicely.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
I know, right? Especially in like 97 or 96.
Anyway.
In any case, bye.
Bye.
Bye.